Good morning. We are starting Ezekiel. And I think with Ezekiel, we're going to kind of slow it down and not do multiple chapters a day. Just going to do one chapter a day. So, Ezekiel chapter 1. In the 13th year, in the 4th month, on the 5th day of the month, while I was among the exiles by the Chebar Canal, the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. On the 5th day of the month, it was the 5th year of King Jehoiakim's exile. Now, remember, King Jehoiakim, back in Jeremiah chapter 23, right up here. Oh, chapter 22, sorry. So this is where God said, I will hurl you and the mother who gave birth to you into another land where neither of you were born, and there you will both be unalived. They will never return to the land they long to return to. So this was 5 years after he was exiled. And so during this time, Ezekiel must have been also during the time of Jeremiah. That's what I'm thinking, that they were contemporary. So they were during each other's time, since he was also exiled. The word of the Lord came directly to the priest Ezekiel, son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the Chebar Canal. The Lord's hand was on him there. A vision of the Lord's glory. I looked, and there was a whirlwind coming from the north, a huge cloud with fire flashing back and forth, and brilliant light all around it. So, when it says fire flashing back and forth, maybe lightning, I'm not going to hold y'all. Some of this I did not understand. Ezekiel's visions were not all very clear, okay? In the center of the fire, there was a gleam like amber. So, amber is like a orangish, brownish color. The likeness of 4 living creatures came from it. So that means that they looked like the likeness of 4 living creatures, meaning creatures that were created on earth, right? So it could be humans or animals from it. And this was their appearance. They looked something like a human, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Now, mind you, it says 4 faces and not 4 heads. So I wonder if it was like one head with a face on each side, the front, like our face, and then on the side, like where our cheeks are, and then the back of the head, and 4 wings. Their legs were straight, and the soles of their feet, were like the feet. The soles of their feet were like the hooves of a calf. Okay. How many legs do they have? Their legs were straight. And see, listen, still as I'm reading this, these are the same kind of questions. So I'm just going to make a note here. Not 4 heads. I need a different pen. Not 4 heads. The soles of their feet were like the hooves of a calf, sparkling like the gleam of polished bronze. So they were obviously brown. They had human hands under their wings on their 4 sides. So there are 4 sides to them. All 4 of them had faces and wings. So they didn't have multiple heads. They just had one head. And I guess if they had human hands under their wings on their 4 sides, then that means that they have, 8 hands? I would think that means that they have 8 hands. Their wings were touching. The creatures did not turn as they moved. Each one went straight ahead. Their faces looked something like the face of a human, and each of the 4 had the face of a lion on the right, the face of an ox on the left, and the face of an eagle So one face was human, one face was a lion, one face was an ox, and one face was an eagle. Okay, that is what their faces were like. Their wings were spread upward. Each had 2 wings touching that of another, and 2 wings covering its body. Okay, so they were standing right next to each other. Each creature went straight ahead. Wherever the spirit wanted to go, they went without turning as they moved. So they did not turn away from the spirit. They followed the spirit. Okay? Okay? They listened to the spirit. We don't do that. But they do, because that's how they were designed. Right? They follow the spirit. They take orders from the spirit. We should be trying to take orders from the spirit, but we don't do that. Okay? The likeness of the living creatures was like the appearance of blazing coals of fire or like torches. So they looked like blazing coals of fire or like torches. So y'all know what a torch looks like, right? The stick that they used before there was electricity, with the fire at the end of it, like blazing, and like think of coal in a pit, like in on a grill. So that's what they look like. Fire was moving back and forth between the living creatures. It was bright with lightning coming out of it. So it's fire and lightning. The creatures were darting back and forth like flashes of like lightning. And that made me think of like flashing, maybe like a glitch, because it says they're darting back and forth, but they're not necessarily moving. Think of like in those sci-fi movies where they have the holographic holograms, the people are coming out of whatever kind of device, and it's not like a steady connection, like they're glitching, flashing back and forth. That's what it made me think of. But this is getting a little too long. I'm going to do a part 2. Yes, I'm going to do a part 2, and we'll get into the rest of it.